wanna be free. We wanna be free. We wanna be free. It's so natural to be free.
Women who aren't afraid to speak out and represent unworthy, heartfelt causes and bring it with the flavor from the Caribbean and touches the music from all parts of the world. This is a remark by Mark Kibble, a member of the American gospel group Take Six, and he extended it to the ladies of Black Voices, one of UK's leading a cappella groups, and they've been together for 25 years. We're very lucky on our Talk Vietnam this week to have them here with us and share their passion with music and how they have come to conquer the hearts of music lovers throughout the world.
Black Voices are said to be the UK's leading female a cappella group. Formed in Birmingham in 1987, they have steadily built a worldwide reputation. Inspired by performers such as Sweet Honey in Iraq, Mahalia Jackson and Take Six, Black Voices have developed their own unique musical approach, exploring gospel and secular music from a Caribbean, Black British perspective. Under the directorship of Karen Pemberton and Bob Ramdani, Black Voices has become one of the most solid performance and teaching companies, sharing a cappella music primarily influenced from African roots and focused through the diaspora. Black Voices describe their repertoire as a carefully woven tapestry, covering a broad spectrum of musical styles, and they continually add new threads of color to the rich fabric of oral music.
Please welcome our a cappella group, Black Voices. Thank you very much, you guys, for coming here onto our show, Talk Vietnam. Now, tell us a little bit about how this trip came to be. This is your very first trip in Vietnam, yes?
Well, we've done a lot of work with the British Council, but we haven't done any work with them for quite a few years. But out of the blue last year, around summertime, they called and said, would Black Voices like to go to Vietnam? And I was like, but of course. You know, we've been in the East before, we've always had a great time. Not just the shopping, we've had a great time meeting, you know, different people and seeing what their musical influences and you know, what styles they like to sing, and then sharing our music. So we thought it'd be nice to experience Vietnam. We have very fond memories of Vietnam in the UK, and probably our earliest recollections are as children watching The King and I, you know, and you know, you go to London, you watch the musical, and you just think it'd be good to go to that place and just, you know, see where that was born. So I think having that dream realized is great. It's a great thing. I hope the British Council will see that audiences here have received us well, and I hope that they will plan a longer and a more relaxed trip for Black Voices so that we can really to know some more of the city here. Hanoi seems to be a really beautiful place. A lot of history seems to be preserved here, and it would be nice to have the time to, you know, visit some of the places and have some more fun. Yeah.
Oh, you like food?
Yes, we just had it.
You guys like the food?
Yeah, I had extra chili in mine, so that was very good for the world. But yeah, it reminds me of our Caribbean soup that we have traditionally on a Saturday. But so it was really nice to experience that today.
It's like going home.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm glad that we have kind of created a cozy feeling for you here in Vietnam, and hopefully you guys will come back and stay longer. During their performances in Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi, the a cappella group Black Voices came to enchant audiences through their soulful as well as inspirational harmonic blend. Let's take a look at their performances in the following.
Xin chào Hanoi.
Music director Karen Pemberton started the concert in Hanoi Opera House with a salute in Vietnamese language as a way to make friends with the local audience. This is the first time that Black Voices have performed in Vietnam, and they are here to mark the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. No visual effects or extra sound devices were used, allowing for their colorful voices to weave their own pictures. The group presented an extensive repertoire of traditional songs from Africa, jazz, gospel, pop, Motown, Caribbean, and English folk. They seem to savor every note, infusing the music with a passionate commitment that can move an audience to tears.
It's not usual to see black voices in a country like Vietnam, and especially a cappella. A cappella is very special. You know, it takes a lot of hard work. They make it look easy.
It was just wonderful to hear these women performing and singing and remembering and the voices, and somehow it just gets into your heart and it was lovely.
The strongness of the voice and the sensation that you don't need any instrument to feel something when you hear something like that. That's the most important thing, and that's the most striking thing for me.
Each of the 5 singers in Black Voices possesses a distinct sound, including tenor bass, alto, and soprano. Backing vocal for one another or harmonizing together. They all did it naturally and effortlessly. You got to do right, you got to do right. Taking the audience by one surprise after another, Black Voices received endless applause from music lovers.
Tôi thích nhất là cái giọng hát nó được tuôn chảy ra rất là tự nhiên, và tôi cảm giác rằng là mình không bị căng thẳng bởi cái technique, cũng như là không phải căng thẳng bởi cái bài hát nữa, mà nó như ở bên trong ấy, tự nó trôi ra như một cái dòng suối.
In India, children work 12 hours a day.
The 1.5-hour performance resembled a long story with an introduction before each song.
Just so that their families can survive. In the Sudan,
The topics Black Voices touch upon voice their concerns on women's liberation, HIV/AIDS, human rights, and other social problems around the world.
And over in the Ukraine, the orphans sleep in the sewers on the streets for their own protection. All across the world, there's poverty, abuse, AIDS, and HIV.
It's going on around us. What can we do to make it stop?
Nội dung của tất cả những cái nhạc phẩm mà họ biểu diễn thì cũng là khiến cho tôi rất là xúc động, bởi vì các cái tác phẩm này thì trước hết là nó nói về đến các cái chủ đề mà phụ nữ quan tâm. Và thứ nhất là sự tự do của phụ nữ, cái thứ hai nữa là các cái vấn nạn xã hội hiện nay đang diễn ra trên thế giới, về HIV, về đói nghèo, về sự thiếu tự do, sự thiếu tự chủ và những cái sự phân biệt nào đó đối với phụ nữ. Các cái thông điệp của họ rất rõ ràng để mà khuyến khích người nghe để quan tâm đến những cái xã hội đang xảy ra.
The concert ended in the whole auditorium standing up and clapping hands to the rhythm of Black Voices.
Tell us more about the performance last night. What did you guys think about the Vietnamese audiences? I know they gave you a standing ovation at the end.
From the first night in Ho Chi Minh City, the audience was very giving, and I think last night here, you can just feel that people are warming to the music and getting involved in it. And so by the end last night, when everybody was just up and clapping, we're just like, okay.
Yes, a standing ovation. How do you guys feel?
It's wonderful, especially like the language barrier as well, not always knowing if people are understanding what you're trying to communicate to them. So it was great for everybody to stand up and join in at the end with Freedom now. It was really good feeling on stage.
Tell us about a particular song that, you know, reflects your heritage and, you know, what it is that, you know, gives the perfect or the unique flavor to Black Voices.
I think it would probably be Redemption Song or On Children. I think those are two songs in our repertoire that, while Redemption Song is kind of our Caribbean heritage, and On Children, I think it's a song that most people will relate to in the audience. There's mothers in the group, and they're both very universal songs. So I think in terms of a representation of Black voices, they're really strong in showing our true identity.
Exactly, the Caribbean flavor as well as, you know, the sense of being really strong women and being able to speak out about it through songs. Now, you know, what is special about your group obviously is a cappella. You sing without the kind of support of any instrument. How do you keep, you know, your voices strong and as well as keep the captivation of audiences throughout the 1.5 hours that, you know, you're constantly using your voice as the instrument?
I think you try and bring a repertoire that has a lot of diversity, a lot of different colors, a lot of different themes, and you try to put that into some kind of musical journey that you can take the audience on. So hopefully last night they realized that we started at a kind of root of our music in terms of slavery, plantation slavery, and the hums and moans and groans that came together to form the blues, and then moving through jazz, and then pop, rock and roll, all of those, trying to bring all those elements within one performance. So hopefully somebody coming to a Black Voices concert, doesn't matter if you're grandma or grandpa or mum or dad or a little child, hopefully there's something for everybody within a Black Voices concert, because we try to bring as many songs of life into the repertoire as possible.
It also feels like almost like a line of history within a show, reflecting the different periods of history and hoping that the audiences would relate to one or another.
Yes.
Is that right?
Each voice has its own personality but can still blend, and you know, we can sound good together.
Exactly. As we heard, you guys sound perfect. I mean, I didn't notice any trips or falls. But
you're very kind.
You're wonderful. Now, in the performance last night, there was a particular performance that really struck the audiences where you guys all played aired instruments. And we had the flute as well as the clarinet. Now, I'm curious about, you know, how this idea for this particular performance came to be, and tell us about the idea behind it.
It's written by a lady called Louise Robinson, and she's a member of Sweet Honey in the Rock, a group that I guess inspired Black Voices to start in the beginning. And she was in a group called Street Sounds, and she had written a song for them, and we heard it and we thought, gosh, wouldn't it be nice to have something like that in our repertoire? And like tried to dissect it one day in rehearsal and realised actually it's a lot more complicated than we first thought. So just tried to do a Black Voices version of her Street Suite really, and just, you know, change little bits to suit our voices, and that's really how it's come about. And you know, we didn't think anything of it when we were learning it. We just really enjoyed having fun with our voices, and every time we perform it, it's like people are like, oh, just like wow, like staring in our mouths, like how do you do that? And it's just having fun, really playing around with the voice and exploring it in different ways, you know, to just singing, you know, lyrics and straightforward melodies.
As you talked a lot about the instrument, the instrumental one, we'll do a bit of that. Street Sweep.
Wonderful, you guys. Wonderful. That was amazing. That was amazing. And the hand gestures as well. You know? We knew exactly what instrument you guys were playing. Now, going back in time, can you tell us a little bit about how you guys formed? I know you guys, the group itself has been 25 years old.
Well, we're 25 years old in October this year, and we hope to launch a year-long celebration of our 25 years. I think when we first came together, Sandra and I are the only two original members of Black Voices here, and we were backing singers for a lot of different pop bands in the UK, something that we still do actually. That's how we started, and we'd always rehearse our backing vocals, our harmonies together in my home actually, and we always thought it sounded so good. And then when we'd go and sing with the band, it's like we didn't matter because the guitars and drums always took over. So really, we grew out of that because we went to see a performance by Sweet Honey in the Rock, and we just moved to tears by their performance. That there was no other instrument other than the vocal, the human voice, and we came back and we thought, the UK needs something like this, and how powerful it would be if it was all women just singing together, and that's how Black Voices started, really.
For you guys, the original member, what do you think has kept the group together for 25 years, or has kept the name of Black Voices just keep going for, you know, a quarter of a century now?
It is a long time. I think we love what we do. We really do enjoy what we do. So that's central to everything that we do. And I don't think we've ever wanted to be, you know, big stars or big celebrities. We just love singing, and we love sharing what we do with other people. And that's the basic driving force, I think, of the group. Nothing wow or anything. We just love to sing. Yes. And we hope that comes across in what we do.
The water is wide. I cannot get on, and neither have I wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry two, and both shall row. My love and I, a ship there is, and she sails the sea. She's loaded deep, as deep can be, but not so deep. I know
little bit about the process of mixing up a particular song? I mean, how, you know, where do you find your inspiration? What happens after that? Do you kind of look at the musical notes and rearrange it? Carol is the music director.
It depends. We have a lot of people who arrange music for us. So we've been fortunate in the last couple of years to work with Mark Kibble of Take Six, who are our absolute idols. And yeah, so he's done about five arrangements for the group. We have women in the UK who are great writers who, you know, bring other strands to our group. We kind of use music, the score, as a guide, and we improvise over that score. So, but I think a cappella lends itself to that, you know, to be free, to express, and to bring a soulfulness to your performance. So, yeah, I don't think we ever have a score that we've ever followed correctly. Yeah.
I think that's what makes the stage much more exciting, though,
yes.
Because you know you never know what you're going to expect, and even if you're going to be performing the same scores, your performing in Ho Chi Minh City will differ from your performing in Hanoi, and that's really exciting. How would you define your style? If you have a particular style, or is it more fusion, depending on your inspirations?
Well, I'll start. I'll just say that for me, Black Voices, in terms of color group, is very earthy, and I think we are. That means that we're grounded in what we do. I don't know what views you guys have.
I'd probably say the same, and just an eclectic mix of stuff. And I think that's what keeps it really fresh and exciting, because each piece you've got to bring something different to. Yeah. So you've got to dig within yourself and find what this piece is trying to say, what you need to put in it to make it sound great. And that's exciting. And sometimes we've kind of worked out what our set's going to be for the evening, and then we'll get to the venue and we think, oh, that song might not work here. We sort of bring something that we've not sung for a long time, and you've really got to dig deep. But that, again, just keeps it fresh and exciting for us.
But it's also good as well that we're not known as just a gospel group or a spiritual group.
Yes.
Our music is worldwide. Everybody knows something that we sing, whether it's from reggae to jazz to even the English folk songs that we sing. We encompass the whole world with our songs. Obviously, we haven't done a Vietnamese song yet because we can't get the tongue around the language. But, you know, I think yes, next time we come, that might happen, and there's somebody to teach it to us. But we are rounded in everything that we do, so we can travel to any country, and somebody will understand and know a song that we're singing.
Consistently honed over the last 2.5 decades, Black Voices have steadily built up a reputation of delivering stunning performances through their soulful and inspiration harmonic blend. The group has worked with a mix of composers and arrangers from the UK in extending the range and diversity of its musicality, and partnered extensively with Maestro Mark Kibble of Take Six over the last 5 years. They have entertained presidents including Nelson Mandela, the Pope, members of the British royal family, including Princess Diana, and have shared the stage with many musical greats, including late Ray Charles, Nina Simone, Take Six, and Wynton Marsalis. Black Voices' brand of a cappella is unique and of truly outstanding quality.
You have traveled in front of many audiences, as you said, including Nelson Mandela, the latest Pope, as well as most members of the British royal family. Share with us some of this experience.
I think they're all very different, but all very nerve-wracking in a different way. I think the royal family are quite easy because you're always placed within a setting, and you know if the Queen's going to shake your hand, you're in a line, so you can prepare for those moments. I think more difficult was singing for the late Pope, not the latest Pope, in front of millions in Loreto in Italy, and suddenly having a piece of paper thrust in front of you, got to address him in Italian, which we don't speak, and you're just like, oh, okay. So I think if you have time to prepare for the dignitary, it's okay. But when you don't have time, that's when the panic sets in for us. So the Pope was quite panicky, I thought. Meeting Prince Charles in LA was quite a panic situation. We didn't know he was going to be there, and then suddenly we're going on stage and people said, "Oh, Prince Charles is here, and you have to meet him after."
Thanks for telling me.
You know, yeah. So, but the most humbling, I think, of experiences is meeting people like Nelson Mandela, who, you know, I don't think any of us could ever imagine living through what he's lived through, and then to meet him and see how gentle and how eloquent and just how stylish and suave that he is, the most sweet man I've ever met, and just, you know, very complimentary about our music and telling us that, you know, we've got the South African harmonies just right. And, you know, that's a big boost, I think, for our confidence. So I think those mean more than meeting the royal family. But I think Sandra has good memories of Princess Di, because we did private concerts for her.
Princess Diane, yeah, it was, and it's funny enough, it was just after her father passed away, and we thought that she would cancel the performance, but she didn't, and she came, and it was absolutely just wonderful just to sing for her and to her as well. And also all the other you know, well-known people that we've met. I mean, people like are in awe of us Black Voices, but when we see them, we're in awe of them, and we're like little children go, "Oh my God, can I get your autograph? Can I get a photo?" Yeah, you know, and we go, "Oh." But it's nice, you know. I mean, it's nice to meet these people, but we still have to come back to where we begin. So it's lovely to go there. It was beautiful to sing for the Queen and Prince Charles and Diane and meeting all the dignitaries. But then we come back to who we are. It's just, you know, everything in its place.
We got to open for Ray Charles, I think it was a couple of years before he died, at the Barbican in London, and that was just an amazing experience. And I remember I was only about 19, so I was quite young, and his security were like trying to shoo us away. And he overheard them when he came out of the dressing room. He was like, "No, ladies," and you know, he took loads of photographs, and he took the time to speak to all of us individually, and you know, it's just a really humbling experience and really, you know, wonderful opportunity to meet him and, you know, and hear him whilst he was still, you know, at his best.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever have any kind of stage fright or any kind of stories backstage? You know, that's what a lot of people might be curious about.
Yeah, we don't want him to know. Of course, like any group, I think if you're a performer and you don't get nervous, something's wrong. Because I think you do need that adrenaline to give you the rush for stage. But I think once you step out and you do the first few bars, you can kind of relax. But yeah, we've had some
stage accidents.
Yeah, we've been backstage and realised people have got odd shoes on, or an earring's fallen out, or fallen out in the middle of a song in a quiet moment. A big earring just drops on the stage. And of course we're a very giggly group, so you know, of course then we all start laughing and can't continue singing. But yeah, we've had lots of stories along the way that, yeah, a bit embarrassing. Yeah, singing the wrong words.
Do you ever like make up your own words?
Yes. But the secret is not to look to the right, because Carol stands there, so just keep straight and just continue to sing.
Pretend it was meant to be that
yes.
way.
Yeah. The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The further you take my rights away, the faster I will run.
Aside from their performances, Black Voices has also given a number of workshops to students and universities and schools, as well as choirs and groups, to complement its concert programs, promoting particularly a cappella singing. Now, in Vietnam this time, the group has been able to give master classes to singers at the Vietnam National Academy of Music, as well as the Vietnam National Opera and Ballet here in Hanoi. We'll have a look at these master classes and what the students make.
This was the first time teachers and singers at the Vietnam National Academy of Music and Vietnam National Opera and Ballet Theatre in Hanoi were exposed to a group who is committed to singing in the oral tradition of their origins. Vocal and physical polyrhythmic exercises, harmonic construction by rote, were what the group had to offer. The students and teachers were captivated by the unique techniques and expressive singing, interpreting, listening, and phrasing.
Từ quãng 2 rồi các bè quãng 2, quãng 3, quãng 5, quãng 7 nó rất là hòa quyện với nhau mà nghe để tạo ra một cái âm thanh nó rất là đẹp, và cái tiết tấu của các bạn thì nó quá là tuyệt vời, làm cho tất cả chúng tôi là cứ trong người lúc nào cũng cảm giác lâng lâng rất là khó tả về cái lối hát của cái nhóm nhạc, mà nghe rất là sướng lắm.
Phong cách của họ rất là tự nhiên, nó là năng khiếu, nhưng mà trong cái tự nhiên này nó vẫn có một cái khuôn khổ nhất định, và từng cái kỹ thuật, từng cái giọng hát, họ hát bằng âm thanh hàng ngày, và những cái lời hát của họ mang đến cảm ứng cho người nghe, người dưới phải lắc lư theo các cái giọng hát của họ, hòa quyện với nhau rất là hay.
Black Voices also shared that their way of singing was completely different from operatic expression, where the singers produce pure voice, which sounds the same. The ensemble is all about the difference and freedom of expression, which encourages all members to be affected and affect others to be effective in singing together.
Each of them, every single person has a very, very strong voice and very characteristic. Maybe for the students here, it was very new to listen to them and to follow very other instructions compared to like classical music.
Chúng ta nhiều khi ở trong học viện mà chúng ta cứ tách dần mà chúng ta thành một cái gì nó kinh viện, nó cứng nhắc, nó xa rời tất cả mọi cái. Đây thì nó rất là nhuần nhuyễn và nó rất là có một cái gì đấy là tràn đầy cảm hứng và nó rất là đời thường, mà nó cũng lại rất là ở trong đó cũng rất là cao siêu.
Apart from this, Black Voices have been delivering teaching courses with schools and universities across the world.
What do you think of the students? How did they kind of respond to the workshop, and what do you think of their singing skills?
I mean, their singing skills are great. They're just different styles, and it's just, you know, for us too, it's good for us to, you know, because none of us are sort of opera singers, though we kind of understand a bit of opera and we know how it works. But it's nice to share with them and for them to share with us the different styles. And the one thing that we do all agree on is that music is universal and it speaks to everybody in different ways. And it's just remembering that in the different styles that we have.
How is it for you, Sandra, working with the different students?
I actually think it's just absolutely wonderful because there's a different tone to the voices to than what we have, and also when we do the workshops, and I think they would prefer to actually just listen to us do a concert instead of doing a workshop. That's all they want us to sing. We mean, no, we're here to teach you. And they are so open to just listening to, they want to sing like us because it's different to what they do. So everything we taught today and also on last Friday, they just opened up and just took it in. And for them it was absolutely wonderful. I think if we had the time, they would have just continued us teaching them, I think, everything that we have in our repertoire, but you know, you just don't do that. But it's good that when you go to another country that you actually learn each other's songs and also the way you sing as well, which is what they wanted to do. So it was good today. It was good.
Tell us a little bit about some of the messages that you're trying to convey through your music.
I think all our music is grounded in the oral tradition that has come out of Africa. So it's a soulful, emotive way of expression, and whether it's the hums, moans and groans of the slaves that formed the spirituals, which then later grew into the blues, then into jazz, swing, riffs from the blues, and then later progressions of that are pop and gospel that we grew up singing. But what's nice about the spirituals or blues music, it's informed music the world over. It doesn't matter which country you go to, any choral group that we work with will have a spiritual within their repertoire. So it tells you that it's an important strand of music the world over. And of course, we're very proud of all the bits that make up our heritage. You know, our African roots, our Caribbean roots, our very British roots. You know, we go to the Caribbean sometimes to deliver concerts, and we think we are so black. And people will say, "You're from England, aren't you?" So there's a very Englishness thing about what we do that we don't even hear ourselves. And even in the States sometimes, you know, when we're singing with black choirs over there, they'll say, "You're English, aren't you?" And you're like, oh, you know. But I guess it's just part of what has informed who we are, and part of what has informed the style and the characteristic of Black Voices. So.
In the last few years, we've kind of done suites of songs. So we've looked at the spirituals, as Carol just mentioned, and the kind of journey of the spirituals from the hums, moans and groans to the spirituals that most people sing today. And then we did a freedom suite, and our freedom suite was just a collective of songs of freedom that have come from around the world. And there's one that we did sing yesterday, which is Somewhere Somebody Needs to Be Free. And it really highlights the plight of children in various parts of the world. Children who are used for child labour, children carrying guns, having to drink or fetch unclean water to feed their help their families and that kind of thing. And it's raising awareness of different situations around the world. We sing Senzen Inar, and we always think of situations that are happening now. So there's all the trouble in the Middle East, there's the earthquake in Italy that's just happened. We try to bring those to the attention of our audience through our song. So those are the kind of messages that we're trying to leave with people without being heavy about it. They go away with something, with an awareness that these things are still happening, but not feeling that they're being browbeated into doing something about it, kind of thing.
Exactly. So music with a message, obviously. I understand you also sing topics that show awareness on HIV, AIDS, as well as other very pressing topics. So keeping your music very updated and inspiring, I'm sure. Well, thank you very much,
Thank
and for sharing your passion here and your love, and I can really see that passion shine through. I mean, obviously your performance there, even just sitting right here and blending with each other. That's just amazing. Thank you very much for sharing with us. Thank you. And that wraps up our edition of Top Vietnam this time with British a cappella group Black Voices. We hope you've enjoyed their performances, and we'll see you more next time here on our show. Goodbye.
Bye.
Nhung.
We sing Senzenina tonight. And we think of the many families in Italy today suffering from the awful earthquake. We think of the families in Japan rebuilding their lives after the disaster there. We think of women and children in Afghanistan and in the Sudan, for Darfur is still burning. Senzenina, what have we done? Senzenina,